grip.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. We decided to go live this morning because we're together and we're having we actually have what, like an hour this morning before we
Yeah.
start getting ready for mass. And we said, hey, let's just go live and say hello to everybody because but we do have an agenda to talk about. But oops, honey.
I'm Arthur, and this is my wife Teresa.
Hi.
And I will try to fix
This-
the microphone
We'll
while Teresa talks to you.
Anyway, so it just widened the screen big time. I don't know what's going. We don't know what's going on. Okay, so anyway, okay. So how are you guys this morning? All right. Earlier, as he's fixing this. Earlier, we were watching a friend of I call him a friend, and it's because celebrities. This celebrity mindset is everyone's my friend. Here, my dear friend who's coming on the show, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, my dear friend, Matthew Cortman, we've interviewed Matthew Cortman, and he is a Yale scholar about the Bible. And I just watched what he did about, he's got a YouTube channel where he talks about the Apocrypha. And of course, now I actually do have a dear friend we love is Gary Michuta. And he also has a YouTube channel called Apocrypha Apocalypse. That's always hard for me to say. Apocrypha Apocalypse. So anyway, and I've always had a fascination. Thank you, sweetheart. I've always had a super fascination with the development of the canon. And I've got my little mini library. I know it's, I've got 10 books on the development of the canon. And so I perceive that I know a little bit, not very much, but a little bit. And anyway, so this morning we were thinking about
ignore the man behind the curtain.
Okay, so you know how that scene is in Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. Let's just hold it. We're just gonna hold it.
2 seconds.
Okay, so we were watching one of Matt Cortman's newest videos, and he was making fun of this video on that gets everything wrong about the history of what's going around is the idea that the church took out important books of the Bible. And this has been going on since Bart Ehrman brought this up when he did, he's a famous, I don't think he believes in God, Bart Ehrman. I took 2 classes from him. And I really like him. I think we disagree. And that's what we want to talk about right there. Finally hit it to tell you. Matthew Cortman is a Seventh-day Adventist. And he he's gotten his degree from Yale. A very great guy. Very enthusiastic about what he does. Very enthusiastic about the Bible and Christ. And same thing with Gary Michuta, who I was talking about. We have got friends that span the spectrum. We are having some friends come over that. Wow, that it just moved. We didn't do that. That just automatic.
Sorry.
Isn't that weird?
Closer.
It goes in. That you. Oh shoot. Our connection. Okay, it went back on. Okay, we get this little flash up there, honey, that says your connection, and it actually cuts it out. So if we excuse me. Okay, oh dear, I better not touch that.
No, it's solid now.
Okay, good.
It's solid.
So anyway, we would like to just talk for a few minutes about. It is very, very difficult for them to find friends. What they do, they find people that they are maybe you could use the word friends when you go to school, and it's when you find something you're passionate about, and all these people in used to be Occupy Wall Street. You find someone you're politically aligned to, or you have a something super in common with them, maybe, or something, and then you're friends with them until you find out they're not aligned with you religiously, or
Well,
something.
let's define what we mean by aligned.
What do you mean?
Disagree.
Right. They
do not like to be disagreed with, to the point of not having them as friends anymore because they don't agree with 100% of the things they think they believe in.
Right. And so this study that I read, and this is probably 5 to 10 years ago.
Right.
They said they went to a university and they started asking people, young people that attended the university all over America about their friends, because they were concerned, because people were seeing this way before I brought it up. And be friends with somebody who was not your religion? Would you be friends with somebody who wasn't your politically aligned? And it came out that these young people were expecting 100% of their friends
of agreement on
100% of topics.
I don't even understand that.
And so that's why I'm very
it almost be a pretty
skeptical.
boring friend, actually, honestly, because do you think Tolkien and C.S. Lewis in their group, do you think they agreed all the time? No. It's like, that is a very 1984 way of thought. You must think like this, and that's it, because it makes me feel
totalitarian.
It makes me feel uncomfortable, and I don't know what to do with it, and I'm not going to lift a finger to look into it myself. I just don't want you to disagree with me. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to throw something in real fast. When I wrote the book, It's Okay Not to Be Seventh-day Adventist,
as you can find on Amazon.com.
I ripped into Adventism, but at the same time, at that time, almost all of my friends, 95% of my family and friends, were Seventh-day Adventists. And it wasn't meant to be personal. It was just meaning, okay, here's a set. I cut in half the person and what they view, the religion and the person in it.
Right.
And I was saying, these beautiful, wonderful, and I believe Christian Seventh-day Adventists just don't have the right information. Their religion may be heretical, but I don't consider them to be, they're not, well, most of them aren't spouting heresy. Most of my friends were not evangelical in their Adventism. And so that's what I mean by, they weren't going around trying to get other people to believe their heresy.
Right.
So anyway, and I've always been able to do that. And Arthur, don't you think this is something fairly new? That people
absolutely
only are friends
as a kid. There were people I was almost enemies with, but not quite, that you still went and played with. You played ball with them. You had friends that disagreed with you, and you still tried to work things out.
Yeah, that's hysterical. You had friends that were almost your enemies that you played
almost.
Well, almost. That must be a guy thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's actually true, because when you're in school, you're
forced
forced to be in a class where people that you do not like or do not like you,
right, and
you have to show up to school every day.
Yeah, that is a new thing. It's not like it did never happen, that you wouldn't relate to somebody, you wouldn't want to be around with somebody, but those were the extreme things.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. And so I was surrounded, and with our beautiful Jewish neighborhood, and I very much relate to the Jewish culture. I actually really like the Jewish culture. And we I would go babysit for their kids. We would play. I don't remember. We were invited to a bar mitzvah once, but I don't remember if we went or not because I was kind of young. But anyway, so but yeah, I just look at our friends right now, and I'm concerned for a lot of young people because we've got, Michael Voris. Kind of had a scandal for a while, and we consider him a friend. Now, we weren't very close. I mean, we met him a few times, so it's not like he was a friend, but we've talked to him a lot. Well, okay, I
Mhm.
gotta be. We've talked to him many times. I've texted him and
And
stuff like that.
he's talked to us directly,
Oh yeah,
not
we've
just
met him in real life
through a
several
group or
times.
something. We've had, yeah.
Yeah, it's it's just hard. We got to define what friends mean. Acquaintance, a dear acquaintance. There we
Mhm.
go. Maybe that's what I should call him, a dear acquaintance. But we've got dear acquaintances that we would invite to our home anytime. I mean, we love these people, and they are way different than we are. Dr. Sangenis, Robert Sangenis. Now, I would say they're dear friends, right?
Yes.
I mean, we love them.
Yeah, they are
We've
dear
invited
friends.
them to come spend the week with us pretty
Mhm.
soon, and we'd love to have them.
Mhm.
And then we've got um, on the opposite side people we love that are complete. We've got an Episcopalian uh, atheist that lives next door to us that we're learning. We just moved here, so we're we've invited him over for coffee, and we enjoy him. He's a songwriter. He's like,
Mhm.
what did he say? How old did he say? 87?
He's mid-80s somewhere, yeah.
No, I think he's 87 because he's older than my dad. So anyway, so he's 87. He's a songwriter, and he writes folk songs. A very interesting guy. And we love to have.
Mhm.
There's never been a time when we didn't have friends of all different races, creeds, colors, religions, sexual orientations. I mean, and the
Not us. We're talking about the people we were friends with that
are
were
you
no, I'm clarifying
okay?
because in this environment,
Listen,
it's
our kids went to Liberty University. All three, did they all three graduate from Liberty University?
two of them did.
Well, anyway,
No, I guess
all
no, just
three
two
of
of
them.
them.
Okay. Well, all three of them attended Liberty
Uh-huh.
University.
Yeah.
And so we've had years and they had plenty of friends that were
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
gay. And I mean they'd come and eat at our house for Thanksgiving, and you know,
Yeah, we had friends that were masterful piano players that they were amazing that were
yeah.
disoriented in that way.
Yeah, and I used to work as a professional singer, and
But let me hang on a second, excuse me. So let me point this out. We're not saying that you go search out all these people. What we're saying is when you have friends, you don't you don't know who you're going to run into in the store or wherever.
mhm,
And if you become friends with them, you can't dictate what their life was before they met you,
right,
and so does that mean you're going to do all manner of evil with them? No, that does not mean that. We're not
right.
suggesting that.
Oh, I
What we're
hope that's not what
suggesting
people
is
are thinking.
is think about if you think about Christianity, why are we here? Is it just for ourselves?
Right.
It's like, no, no, we're here as a Christian. We're going to be known by our love for one another.
Right. And okay, real quick, I want to caveat
Yeah.
this by when you are raising small children, you do have to be careful.
Yes,
Very careful who you bring into your home
that's right.
and who you engage in your life in any kind of serious way,
Mhm.
because there are predators out there. There are people that you need to protect your children first and foremost.
Right.
If you need to homeschool to protect your children from predators, you got to
Right.
do it
Right.
because honestly, they say that that the public schools or schools in general are where most of the sexual abuse happens. And so anyway, of course you protect enough to where you can engage other people that don't agree with you, or even not violently, but vehemently disagree with you.
Right.
And you can, because the purpose of all of this, the purpose of what we're Christians is to bring love to other people, Christ's love
Right.
to other people.
Did the Good Samaritan know what kind of things that man was saying online? No.
Yeah.
Does he know this man laying there bleeding what his political things were
Mhm.
on anything? No. He doesn't know anything about him. He sees God creation, a human being bleeding, and he not only rescues him, he gives extra money. He basically becomes his friend. My guess for life. Somebody saved my life.
Yeah.
We would be friends for forever.
And maybe what we need to do, what I need to do is clarify. Okay, because what I'm really talking about is dear acquaintances. Because
Yes.
there may be people who consider the word friends is very close to family. You're with all the time. You are connected in a super close way. And
Right.
if you're young, you may not be able to be super good friends with somebody that is immoral and living a very immoral life. But
Right.
but I'm more or less discussing people that Christians. Let's clarify this. I'm talking about Christians who disagree with you on some things. And these young people are not able to handle, like, okay, and I see this online, and maybe I'm judging, well, I do have a lot of real life friends, but I'm judging a lot of this on how I see Twitter and social media, how people discuss things with each other. And there is
Yes.
so much enmity between one type of Christian and another, Protestants versus Catholics versus Orthodox versus non-denominational. And I think we absolutely should be friends. There should be no, at least loving acquaintances, friendly acquaintances. And I mean genuine, because that's what Christ says. They will know you are Christians by your love one for another. And so don't be afraid of making friends that disagree with you, Christian friends that disagree with you. Is you need to be strong in your faith. And when you are strong in your faith and you're strong in love, you will be able to not be offended by other people's disagreements with your theology or your politics.
Right. Right. And you have to never forget. Every time I go into the hospital, this runs through my mind. Every time I'm walking down the hall to take report on multiple patients, anywhere from 5 to 10 to however many, is those weren't randomly selected. God selected those patients for me. Just like in our lives, when you run into somebody and you're talking to somebody, those weren't randomly given to you, because I believe that when you put your life in the Lord's hands, he directs your paths. Is that
Right.
not correct? Is that not what the Bible
Yeah.
says? Is that not what every Christian has been taught? Then I believe that. And there's a reason for that. And you make friends with somebody and find out some atrocious thing about them. And having patients, I can tell you, I've found out some atrocious things about my patients that you can still be friends with them. How do you know that the Lord's not going to be working through you? Of course, he's going to be working through you in some manner,
Mhm.
even if it's a small manner of
Mhm.
giving him a cup of water, like the Bible says. You give a cup of water to a prophet, you get a prophet's reward. I guess we shouldn't put that in reverse and say if you give it to a thief, you get a thief's reward. That no, it doesn't work that way. But and the whole the whole purpose
That's really
is
funny.
the whole purpose is the Lord put us on the earth to be followers of Christ, but to be Christian. And being Christian is not being sectarian and closed off and not having discussions and
Mhm.
understanding. We are to reach out. We are to try to understand. Some things I can't understand why somebody would be a militant, whatever, and fly a flag of some militant group. I don't understand that. But you can still be friends with them. You can still reach out to them. You can still speak to them and be uplifting to them. And children nowadays are they tend to shut people off and
Mhm.
box themselves off.
Mhm.
And I don't even think they understand why.
Mhm.
They just they don't have friends. They don't hardly talk to anybody.
Mm.
So anyhow,
Well, I'm just sitting here thinking while you were talking.
mhm,
I was listening. But I was kind of thinking, why are they doing this? What and they
mhm.
I think it's fear. I think these young people they have not had enough battles, spiritual battles that they've won, that they feel comfortable or confident that they can hold their own, even and love and even be good friends with people that disagree with them. So I mean, and it's obviously, you're obviously going to feel the most comfortable and be able to have the most at ease, best, greatest time with people that you share values with. But it's this fear that I sense, and I could be completely wrong about this. So correct us if this is wrong. But this what it seems to me like is there's just fear.
Maybe it may be fear.
And you know what? But they may not have time. Honestly, it's you.
We've been put in a position of these things that just kill all our time.
Mhm.
And yeah, I can see that with some of them.
Anyway, so
So I suggest that of course you make friends at church when you go to church, sure. But there's a different level of friends about your next door neighbors
mhm,
and the people you meet. Are you
mhm,
extending that Christian branch of friendship, not just, hey, I want to evangelize you? Naturally, that's going to be a part of anything you do in a manner of speaking, not necessarily sermonizing them, but through your life, how
mhm,
you act, how you talk, how you don't cuss, how you,
mhm,
all these different things
mhm,
are a way of,
mhm,
the old song,
mhm,
be a sermon and shoe. So basically, do, and that is one of the biggest even evangelism things you can possibly do is how you live your life and how you talk and how you relate to people. Are you friendly? Are you kind?
mhm,
Do you reach out to them? Do you uplift them? Do you give them a cup of coffee? Do you give them
mhm,
water? All these things.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I wanted to go live with this because I'm concerned. I'm concerned. And it's because and I just want people to strengthen themselves so that they can be holy enough that they are just pouring out love
Right. That's right.
on those that need our love.
That's right.
Everybody's lonely. Everybody's
That's a fact.
yeah, everybody's having a hard time right now, and strengthen your gird your loins,
Hmm.
as the Bible says. Gird your loins. Be holy so that when you walk around, you do not have to fear uh being deceived. like that's an Adventist thing.
Mhm.
They fear being deceived.
Mhm.
Um, other people fear, I don't know what you fear. I'm just guessing. Being uh, tainted in some way. You don't have the confidence that I'm going to remain close to the Lord and I'm going to remain in the truth, even if I encounter other people that
Even if I have
disagree with me.
friends, right? That's right. Right. I'm sure Christ had many, many friends that
Mhm.
were questioning and always asking him
Yeah.
stuff that other people would probably hear and say, are they really friends with Christ, or are they just
Well, and the truth is, I mean, we have to be honest. Our friends, our close friends, the ones that we are around a lot, will influence us. But iron sharpens iron,
that's right.
and if you really believe you're right about something and you're wrong, being around good, godly friends.
Be comfortable enough to think about what's being said to you
Mhm,
and run it through the process, run it through your prayers, run it through
right,
the way you think, and be willing to say, you know what, that may be right, because that's how you look for truth.
right. So, boy, this got complex very quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it is complex. It's a
Friends are
complex.
complex,
That's right.
you know.
Yeah. And so, yeah, be strong in the Lord and love. And remember, y- y- honestly, love. If you read the love chapter, even if someone were to convince you of wrong doctrine, let's just say, and you started thinking, you have to trust God because he said, love covereth a multitude of sins.
That's right.
And it says in 1 Corinthians 13 that you can be perfect in all these different ways. And if you don't have love, you have nothing. And that love is going to be the thing that lasts even
And
more
I
than
hate to
faith.
even have to say this, but it's like we're not talking about the VW van flowers on the side of the window
Oh,
with the moon window love. We're not talking about
tolerance.
yeah, that too. But we're not talking about the weak,
Right.
pathetic love of the hippie movement.
Right.
We're talking about the real sacrificial love. Read the love chapter, and if you constantly keep that on the tip of your mind every time, one, when you read the Bible and when you talk to people and you talk about love and you put those things of the love chapter
Mhm.
into how you relate, being friends with all these different types of people is easy then.
Yeah. But in other words, be strong so that you can be friends with people who may need you desperately to be friends with them, and you may need desperately to be friends with them. We are
Yeah.
we are we need to be strong enough to be friends with others, and you will battle temptation, but you need to win. That's what's going to give you confidence. You battle temptations to do wrong and win and overcome, and that will strengthen you. And I think maybe that is what we lack in our culture, are people
Right.
that have been through the battles and come out, with God, of course, giving them the grace to overcome. And and if you want me to say it, that God overcomes, that's fine. I understand what, verbiage can really offend people, which we shouldn't be offendable. Give up being offendable. Don't worry
Mhm.
about being offendable. Okay. I think that's it.
Well, that right. That's it. It's not a complete topic, but it's something that's super important to think about. And that's what we're
Yeah.
about is think about this, think about friends, think about how our kids are having trouble having friends and why.
Yes. Reason together.
Reason together.
Okay. All right. God bless.
God bless
And
you, love you, and please come back and comment. Give us comments on this, all
yeah.
these things we talk about. That's how you reason together.
Hmm.
And that's a tough one. People have a hard time with reasoning together. It's part of
Hmm.
the whole friends thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Yep.
we'll,
Well,
yep.
all right.
We'll see you later. Have a
God
great
bless.
day. God bless you.